Hello, hello, Taurians. Last but not least, guys, I owed you a retrograde message. I'm sorry, I have been down for days with my lungs. I've got asthma, and when it flares up, it makes it so I am real limited with what I can do because it all requires my voice. And that's the one thing I don't have during asthma. So, things are settling down. So, thanks for all your patience with me. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Really appreciate my Taurus crew. All right, Bull Gang, here we go. So remember that retrograde started actually on the 9th. And that's a time where, Mercury laps us, it moves faster than Earth does on its orbit. So it shows passage of time and things that might, come back to the forefront of our minds, something to consider again, but maybe consider differently because some time has passed. We have a vibe of boundaries. Okay, this could be good or this could be bad. Disrespectful, defending oneself, saying enough is enough. But let's see, we also have a 3 of Cups sideways. We also have the 2 of Wands sideways, the 8 of Pentacles upright, and the 3 of Swords upright. Okay, so the way I'm looking at this, I don't think Taurus is too keen on somebody showing back up in their world. And in fact, this indicates somebody could be trying to come back in that Taurus is like, ho, not again, my friend. This says the audacity. I can't believe somebody would try coming back in. I mean, are they living in some parallel universe where they rewrite history, where they don't know what their actions were like? I see somebody trying to sweep stuff under the rug, trying to pop into Taurus's world again. And this could be Taurus going, this is crazy. This is delusional. They are delulu. We do not have something that's working for Taurus. Let me just take a look. For this Mercury retrograde, tell me about just Taurus. Hanged Man, Queen of Cups, and the Fool. Okay, so first off, I think this is going to be a really powerful Mercury retrograde for Taurus because I think maybe they did secretly hold space and say, okay, at some point this person's going to say sorry, right? And I even played it out in my head. And when they say sorry, when they come back in, you know what? I do still have a lot of love for this person. And who knows, maybe we could, try things again. I think Taurus held space and held judgment and maybe even said, maybe this person is racked with guilt and they're becoming a better individual. And when they show back up, then things can be different, right? And who knows how I'll feel. I definitely have held love in my heart. So I think in regards to this situation, Taurus was more or less giving grace here and considering if things go well, and maybe Taurus has even talked themselves into this concept that things are probably going to go well. I'll bet you, I'll give somebody a second chance if they come back in a certain way. Yeah, 4 of Cups in the reverse. Taurus is like, I don't like to have missed opportunities. I don't carry grudges. I don't do that. So when this comes back around someday, you know what? It could be a new beginning. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask this. What's Taurus going to think if this person comes back in and they have not changed one iota? 7 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. We kind of already saw it, but it's like, and you can stop right there at the door. This is Taurus going into like warrior battle mode where it's like, let me get this right. This and this and this happened, and this is the way you're responding. Okay, so you're not coming back into my world. This is a blockage, an obstacle. Sometimes it's a defensive action. And this is like, I just want to get this straight so that I'm not making any mistakes here. You're coming in with this attitude. Hang on, let's look at them. Let's go with this deck. Let me see what is going on with this other person. And first off, who the heck are they? They are somebody wanting to reach out to Taurus, 8 of Wands, and we have a Page of Swords. Could be a fire sign, could be an air sign. In both of these cards, admittedly, they look very young. Pages are very young. So this could be a young soul. This could be somebody who's quite immature. This is somebody who's reaching out to Taurus. I want to talk to Taurus. Hi. But they're not reaching out with, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. In fact, wow, 4 of Coins in the upright and the 2 of Cups in the sideways. They're kind of expecting Taurus will let it slide because, you know what, me and Taurus, like, we got this thing between us. No, I don't have to address what happened in the past. I want to reach out to Taurus. I want to talk to them. This reaching out and communicating with Taurus. I mean, this could be somebody Taurus is even still technically with, but they haven't talked about this like maybe fairly big upheaval or problem that occurred between themselves and Taurus. But their assumption is, yeah, but I don't really have to. We'll both just sweep it under the rug. So I'm going to just, like, hey, Taurus, you want to get a roast beef sandwich later? I don't know. I'm picturing somebody making sandwiches. I'm picturing pastrami or roast beef. I have no idea why. Maybe they really like sandwiches, or maybe that's symbolic somehow, where that's like the signal that like, hey, we're just good now anyway, aren't we? They don't address things head on. In fact, I don't know if this person has the capability of being humble enough to say sorry, because this says that they really hold back talking about the most important things. But there's this assumption that, well, of course, because Taurus loves me, we're a Two of Cups. It just gets swept under the rug. It's all good. I do not think this is okay with Taurus. Not this time around. This time around, it seems like Taurus is saying, oh no. No. This is not the way that this is going to proceed. But the thing is, so forgive me for saying it this way, but I don't think this is the first time this person has done this. So I don't think that this would be necessarily a shocker for Taurus. But what I do think is the way this is being handled, this is like after an epic blowout where it's like, okay, I do let a lot of things slide. I have let a lot of things slide. I have put up with a lot of different things, but this obviously, you would never think you can get away with this. This is a time to really step up and show me that you care and really, eat your words and maybe really say sorry or, make things right, collaborate, contribute, change something. And instead, this is very complicated because the way this character behaves, he or she, they've come out primarily as a he, and they come out as a he again. They have a habit of, they don't want anybody but Taurus, but they watch Taurus and they observe Taurus's behavior to kind of figure out, okay, when is Taurus, not pissed? When is Taurus, doing other stuff? And I can see there's normalcy. I can see Taurus chit-chatting with people at work. I can see when we're in public or something, Taurus doesn't act mad at me, or, I can see Taurus's energy seems just like sweet Taurus. And so I watch and I see when Taurus has worked through whatever our conflict is, a pattern that they've been used to getting away with to a certain extent. Are you going to be shocked when you try your same old and Taurus has a blockage? Oh, it's not even a blockage. It's that Taurus is literally not going to respond. They don't get the reaction. I don't know if Taurus leaves, gets in their car, drives away, or if Taurus walks out of the room, or if Taurus just leaves them on red, doesn't respond with a text back. I actually feel like there's a visual of Taurus exiting. I picture them realizing during this retrograde, something just changed. Taurus won't let me brush things under the rug. Hang on, what is that going to do for them? Is this going to register? I can't keep doing this. Page of Coins. They have been so used to flubbing it up, but then Taurus has been like the more responsible adult in the connection, that even though they come at stuff all wrong, they're like, yes, but Taurus always understands what I meant, even though I'm no good at this. It's like they let themselves off the hook and say, look, I'm no good at relationship or apologies, but Taurus knows that, which is why they know when I put in some effort, even though it doesn't work. So Taurus knows that. I don't think that it's registered that they need to come up with a way to actually say sorry or to maybe change a behavior. Lovers. It is registering that I need to treat Taurus with more chivalrous respect. Maybe I need to ask them out on a date. I could picture this person doing something way out of character, bringing flowers to Taurus. I could picture them, trying again when they get zero response from Taurus. I could picture them saying, okay, let me try a romantic approach. I still don't see a change in behavior, and I still don't see communication 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. They may show up on Taurus's doorstep if they don't already live with Taurus and be real awkward, but be there with flowers and try to, like, ask Taurus out instead of that roast beef sandwich comment. They might try something like to imply that, see, I'm really part of this. I'm really like contributing to, this very important relationship. But it feels like it's kind of a hollow display at this point, only because I feel like they're nervous. Their wheels are spinning. Something has shifted where Taurus is not going to tolerate somebody who won't step up to the plate and, behave better and be more of a participating component of the relationship. I think Taurus is like, doesn't matter that I do love this person. And I would have given them a pretty big pass if they had shown me, okay, this time they're definitely going to change the way they've been doing stuff. Taurus is like, they're not changing anything. So that was it for Taurus. And on their side, I feel like they are recognizing it, and pretty fast, that this doesn't work anymore. The thing is, I don't know if they can get Taurus back on their side, back in their world. I don't know how well that's going to work. Let me get one more. We have an 8 of Cups upright. We have the High Priestess upright. How is this going to work? This is them, moving in a different direction. Seeing Taurus leave. I keep seeing Taurus leave. 8 of Cups and High Priestess. I actually think during this retrograde, it is a moment where they try an old behavior. It no longer works. I think Taurus shows with action, I don't put up with this anymore. They're not reaching out to me with less than apologies. They're not reaching out to me without having changed behavior and showing me that there's a change in behavior. So I am showing them energetically and visually, I'm no longer here. Taurus isn't saying word one. I think it is all silent on the Western Front. I think it is completely crickets. I think that Taurus could live on the West, by the way, or in the West. I know that's the title of a film, which I think is a more related film, isn't it? But this is, I don't mean it like that, although this feels a bit like a battle that's been going on, but it's a silent, like, I won't participate in this anymore. And this is one of those times where it's like Taurus is saying, I don't need to tell them what they did wrong. If they don't know, I'm definitely not going to tell them. And I know that's that cliche that it's like, how are we supposed to know when we do things wrong if somebody won't communicate it to us? But this is something on repeat, wash, rinse, repeat cycle again and again. And there isn't any question mark. This character knows what has gone wrong. They know the like caring and attention that they haven't given, because what they default to after they try their same old and it doesn't work. Then they go, I need to step up. I need to show love, chivalry. I need to show like investment, right? 10 of Pentacles and the Lovers. So they know exactly what they weren't giving, but it still isn't enough for them to then be like, okay, I tried my minimal effort. It didn't stick. So let me try the effort I should have been giving. But it's gone on too long. That's not going to make Taurus like run back into their arms, because this can't be a brief, okay, let me shift gears. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'll shift gears harder, and then I'll get Taurus back and I'll continue on with my previous behavior. This time, no. I think this is the moment where, because of a repetitious cycle, this is Taurus saying, I won't deal with a cycle again. So this is the end of a retrograde cycle. We're not doing this anymore, says Taurus. And Taurus is giving them that energetic awareness by their behavior, which is to actually shut down and walk away from this. So that brings us back over to them. Let me just ask from the higher perspective, are you getting what Taurus is putting down? Ace of Wands, they're having a real light bulb moment. And what does that mean? There's also this passion and this desire. Ooh, 10 of Wands. At this point, I think this 10 of Wands looks more like a 2 of Wands, right? It's a fork in the road, 2 different pathways to take. And they're standing here looking right at, again and again, I keep making the same mistake. And I've been doing that. And if I really want Taurus, I need to quit doing the thing I've been doing. With this 10 of Wands, I don't know why they've behaved in a certain way. I don't know if they were letting themselves off the hook, if they were hurt by something in their life and they just decided that that gave them permission to operate at like the lowest level of output for anybody else. But it's like, but I really want Taurus. I can't keep putting out the lowest level of output. It insults this lovely Taurus. I don't have permission to keep saying, well, see, I had problems in my life, therefore I don't have to give equally to Taurus. I don't have to be respectful. I don't have to show up. I think that this is their coming to Jesus moment. We have the death and the rebirth. They're not 100% sure that they can change their own ways, but they are confronting it. So I do think that this is a person who's been giving really minimal effort, taking Taurus's love for granted, but it seems like it's because they gave themselves permission to say, yeah, but see, I have some things in my life that have happened, and that's why I don't open up very much, and I don't have to give as much as other people do. They're realizing, I do if I want to hang on to Taurus, because Taurus will not tolerate any more of this, and I know exactly what I've been doing. I don't know that they'll have the strength to really change things in the way they've been behaving. Two of Pentacles, they won't be back in Taurus's life right away. They make an attempt, Taurus shuts them down, and then it's like they need to go and sit with themselves and consider all of this. I would almost argue that's probably what Taurus really wants is, no. We're not doing temporary patch up and you behave a little bit better to get me back. No, this is it. This is where you have to change the way you do things, or I'm gone. I'm already gone. You would have to get me back by having made significant effort and change. I'm not going to be hurt anymore because you feel entitled to not have to, be respectful or giving because you had problems once in your life. It really feels like Taurus is like fed up to hear saying, no more. You have to be good to me. Tina Turner, oh, you better be good to me because I don't have no use for what you loosely call the truth, and you better be good to me. Love that song so much. Love, Tina. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, I will be going live this week still, and we'll be doing some card pulls for members and subscribers this week. Bye.